So let's dive into today's motivational chat. I want to talk about how the hard road is often the holy road. And to teach this, this is not a religious conversation, okay? So don't worry if you're religious or not, but I am going to bring this back to the Bible because it has a lot of really great stories. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the story of David and Goliath. Now, I heard that when I was a child, little David and big Goliath, but let me give you kind of an adult version of how this relates to the journey that you're on right now. So there was, way back in the day, there was a war happening, and each of the sides of the war, they said, okay, give me your champion, and we'll have them battle it out. And whoever wins that will win the war. And so the one side brings forth this huge, literally like 9 foot tall giant man named Goliath. So this guy steps forward and he's going to challenge the other side. And nobody on the other side wants to step forward. They're all terrified of this giant mutant alien. They don't want to fight this Goliath. But then there's this young, inexperienced shepherd named David who steps forward. He's brave, he's courageous, he steps forward. And in fact, he steps forward and he doesn't even choose to bring any armor or any sword. He actually just brings a slingshot. And Goliath, this huge giant, is towering over him and mocking him and laughing at him because he just knows he's about to destroy him, really. And then all of a sudden, Goliath pulls back his slingshot and throws a rock square on the forehead of Goliath. And it hits him so hard in the perfect place, Goliath drops dead. And David just wins the entire war. And because of this moment, David became a hero and he became famous. Because of this moment, he actually went on to become king. And what's so cool is the Bible said God wanted David to be king this whole time. But when God wanted David to be king, he didn't give David a crown. He gave David Goliath. Did we hear that? When God wanted David to be king, he did not hand him a crown. He gave him Goliath. What does that mean? That means when you ask for the best body, when you ask for the best health, you will not be gifted it. You will be gifted situations and circumstances where you can rise to the occasion and earn it. Where you have to do the courageous, brave thing that nobody else is willing to do, that doesn't guarantee that you'll have a victory, yet you still step forward and you try. Because that's the type of person you want to be, regardless of the result, outcomes, or goals you achieve. You want to be David. You want to step forward in front of the 9-foot giant without a shield, without a sword, and have faith. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. Trust your path that you have chosen. Trust your intuition. That you will prevail. That you will become queen. Nobody wants a queen when they're handed the crown. In fact, you can go through history and find stories riddled with people who were just, they had the right to the throne because of their bloodline, but they didn't own it. And guess what? They usually get assassinated or dethroned because they're not very good at it. They don't know what it takes. They can't lead because they didn't understand what it took to become a leader, right? And usually when we want the body or we want the health, we are given these Goliaths in our path. So what are examples? Well, maybe you're really excited to get your body back after being pregnant, and then you have a surprise pregnancy, right? You know, the surprise pregnancy. Oh, well, that's got to be put on hold. So what does that mean? That means you're going to appreciate and work harder and go all in when it is your time, when you are ready to finally take advantage and get that body back, right? What if you're finally ready to spend time on yourself and then you get let go of your job? That's your Goliath. How do you want your story to end? Right? Maybe you get divorced. Maybe there's family drama. What is the Goliath that to everybody else is an excuse and an obstacle? But for you, It just means you're actually finally pointed in the right direction of your crown. That's all that means. We think it's like, oh, obstacle, veer over here, go find a route without an obstacle. What if it's the obstacle that actually makes you ready to receive everything that you've been asking for? Because if I snapped my fingers and you had the body, you didn't earn it, right? So guess what that means? That means you don't have the character traits to keep that body, right? So what are some of the character traits you need to have a fit body year round, through the holidays, through stressful times, through all the birthdays? I have about 12 family birthdays in the month of July. I can guarantee you, before I lost my 80 pounds, that I would gain about 20 pounds just in July, because we'd have a birthday cake literally every day for somebody new. It was crazy. How do I survive that now? Well, I didn't take that as an excuse and woe is me and life's so hard and I'll wait till after July. I said, no, if this is my life and I love all these people and I want to celebrate all these people's birthdays, I still got to make it work for me. Right? And so, what are the character traits that all of these obstacles are trying to develop in you so that when you achieve your dream body, your dream fitness, your dream health, your dream lifestyle, that you can appreciate it and keep it? Because Lord knows we all know how to get temporary success. We all are smart enough and can stay motivated long enough to get a little taste of success. Right? We know how to lose 5 pounds, maybe 10, maybe 20. Maybe we've even lost 50 before. But if that's the case, why are you listening to me talk right now? Because there's something missing, right? Perhaps we viewed the Goliaths in our past as reasons as to not continue, when really it was as simple as just a little slingshot, right? Because if you were gifted health, if you were gifted the body you want, you didn't learn discipline to get there, right? You're not as disciplined as you should be. So that means you don't know how to say no to things. You don't know how to say yes to the right things. You don't know how to stand up for yourself. You don't know how to set boundaries, right? We're also missing the trait of being courageous, right? Going out of the unknown, going on a limb, leaving and almost killing off the current version of you and the current lifestyle you live for that better version of you. But the crazy thing is you don't know what that better version is yet because you've never been there. So it is a hell of an unknown, which is extremely hard to grasp and very uncomfortable. And guess what's comfy? Staying where you are right now, right? It's cozy. It's warm, right? So you have to develop discipline. You have to develop courage, right? You have to develop gratitude, right? You ever break a toe, cut your hand, and then you can't use a limb like you used to? Well, then you realize how much you really took things for granted, right? You ever lose a loved one suddenly and you didn't get to say goodbye? It's horrible. And we took life for granted. We took that relationship for granted. Not intentionally being assholes, but when we're not earning something, it doesn't have the same effect on us. We don't care for it the same, right? When you have to earn the body, earn the health, and earn the pounds, if you have to earn every single pound you lose, blood, sweat, and tears, you best believe that second piece of cake does not seem very appealing. Maybe the first piece does, but that second piece, I don't think so, because you worked hard for every pound. So you know what going backwards feels like. You know what you're sacrificing because you put the work in, right? You ever know those young girls who are teenagers who were athletic and they never had to worry about what they eat? Then they went to college and they started gaining weight and then they have their first kid. And then they just didn't know how to eat healthy for their bodies. And so they gained all this weight. Perhaps this is kind of where you're at too. You gained all this weight because life took over, taking care of everybody else took over, and we didn't have the skills to learn how to take care of us while we're taking care of other people. And so we didn't have the skills. So now we're plopped in this place we don't want to be, on a desert island, stranded, with no life raft. But the good news is, all you need to know is how to build a life raft. When someone can show you how to build a life raft, you'll realize that you have all the tools inside of you this whole time. You have every single tool you will ever need to be successful at whatever you put your mind to in every area of life at any point in time. It is always within you. And a lot of times you don't even need to go out and search for more information and knowledge. You just need to listen to me so I can remind you that, oh no, you don't need to listen to me. You got to listen to more of yourself because it's in you this whole time. This whole time. You know, if you believe in science, physics, chemistry, biology, we are all just cells vibrating at different speeds. And energy is never created or destroyed, which means everybody that once lived is still floating around in the ether with their energies. And that's where we go when we die. We float around as a collective energy. And if that's true, then what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for to just already vibrate at that collective energy, to tap into the universe, to tap into whatever frequency they're vibrating at, to like unlock the secrets of the universe? And the secrets of the universe, whatever that is, whether that's small or big for you in your life, the secrets to your life, it doesn't get revealed unless you are the best version of yourself and you are healthy and you are constantly continuing to be healthy and try to reach the next level of health. So, what I need you to do is I need you to ask yourself, what is the next level of health for me? Because everybody listening to this call is going to be at a very different stage. Some people are just starting out, and a level of health for them is 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 1 pound at a time. Some people are, 20, 30 pounds into their journey already. And for them, a win would be successfully, going on vacation and not gaining 5 pounds while on vacation. That's a win. Some people have lost 95% of their weight, and now they're trying to figure out the friends and the lifestyle side. Like, oh, I can't keep my friends anymore, or oh, my friends have actually been a bad influence, or oh, my husband still isn't joining me on this journey. And now that's the challenge that you're facing, right? There's many layers, and every layer is going to come with a new Goliath, with a new challenge. And the exciting news is, well, it's exciting for me. Maybe I'm weird. The exciting news is the second you hit an obstacle, it should tell you that you've just leveled up. It's like a video game where you have to face the boss at the end. That means you've almost beat the level. You've almost beat the level whenever there's an obstacle, which is amazing, right? Because you think of, if you think of the world as a giant pool, and everybody's in this pool, and then inside the pool, there's little tiny pools. And each pool is more exclusive than the next, right? You have to be leveled up. You have to be healthy. You have to be fit. You have to be calm. You have to be all these awesome character traits to make it into the next pool. But the next pool you get into is full of people who are ahead of you, who know more, who've been through more, who are more disciplined. They're more up the ladder on these character traits you're trying to develop, which means what? By comparison, you will feel like you are never good enough. By comparison, you will always think that you are less than. But if that's how you are feeling, if you are comparing yourself, you must know that that just means you jumped pools. Now you're surrounded with more elite. That's a good sign. And it's not a sign to compare. It is a sign that will tell you if you stick around this long enough with the right mindset, you will become on that level of elite. And then the second you reach the top, that now people are comparing themselves to you, you jump to the next pool and feel like a little guppy again against all the sharks that are in the next pool. And that is just the journey. So instead of comparing and wondering and feeling, David was the little guppy. Goliath was the shark. He was still able to face that and rise. And then David became his own shark. He became king. It's so cool, right? So A body and a fitness journey without truly earning it, you never take it, you'll never be able to truly appreciate it or learn what it's supposed to teach you. Because are we naive enough to think that losing weight is just about looking good? I don't think so. Are we naive enough to think the reason we want to lose weight is just because we want to get healthy? Like, really, that's it? That's not very a sexy goal. What does that even mean? What does get healthy even mean? You go to 10 different doctors and they'll tell you different things, right? You go to 10 different doctors and each doctor will say you got a different ailment. You're good, you're not good. You need this medicine, you don't need this. Try this supplement, do this. You're going to get 10 different opinions. So being healthy is quite subjective and not very sexy. So why are we here? Why do we want to lose weight so bad? Because you instinctually know that what it takes to lose weight is also what it takes to live the best life possible. How you do one thing is how you do everything. The discipline, the courage, the habits, the gratitude that you build from losing weight, you take into your marriage, you take with your children, you take into your career, you take into your connection with Mother Nature, to animals, to the universe, to God, if you're religious and spiritual. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so please zoom out. Don't look at your weight loss journey as so binary and like one-noted. This journey is going to change your entire life, but only if you are prepared for that. Now, it's hard to be prepared in terms of predicting what that means. But what I mean is being prepared is opening your mind to the idea that there's more to life than the life you're currently living. Right? You think when David held a slingshot up, he thought that would lead to him being king? King? Come on. No, he's just like, I want to survive. And this is my best bet because this is the tool that I'm strong at. Right? So what is your version of being a queen? Because God wants you to be a queen and he will not hand you a crown. He's going to hand you a bunch of Goliaths. And the good news is every time you get one, you can smile. Because you can be like, okay, I get it. I get it. God, I'll do it. Oh, I guess I'll do it. I get it. You don't always have to like it, but you do have to accept it. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you got any value at all, I'd love it if you left a 5-star review to help more women find this podcast and get the support that they need. And if you're looking to speed up your weight loss and take your transformation to the next level, then head on over to Trimera.com. TRIMMERA.com. I'll catch you on the next episode, and welcome to your Trim Era.